What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 13 of The Kevin Show. Awkwardly enough, it's Friday the 13th when we're recording this. But first, check out the disclaimer. And for this episode, we got DiecastConstructionPage on, aka Patrick.
Howdy, y'all.
And shit will be thrown.
Alright, so there has been a lot of shit happening in the community now. You don't deserve that word right now.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay? There's been videos uploaded, there's been posts made. I mean, I agree with some, I disagree with some, but there's some stuff that has to be changed. There's some names that have to be thrown around. There's some people that need to be told, you know, where they sit, you know. People, you're not on top, you're not on the bottom. Well, some people are on the bottom. But you don't own the place here. So
Did I mention that the views expressed in this video are not the views of the Mall News Group or of anybody associated? These are all Patrick's personal views and opinions and expressions. Oh, by the way, if you're not 18, you know, plug in some headphones at least.
So, first thing up here is there's been a lot of talk of the over average Diecast. He's a user on Instagram. And people seem to think that's Stuart Shortreed.
Because it is.
It is not.
Then who the fuck is it?
Stuart Shortreed, his Instagram username is TheRealJimA.
That is Stuart over the average diecast. I can tell by his collection.
It is not Stuart. I promise you, I have seen proof that it is not. We tested that theory together.
You tested the theory?
Yes, we tested the theory.
Okay. Well,
it is not. It is not. His name is actually Colin. I mean...
Is he from Canada by chance?
He lives in Australia. New Zealand.
Oh.
To be more...
Hi, Colin. What's up? Sorry for thinking you're a drug-taking dipshit.
For anybody who doesn't like him, I'm not defending him, but I'm just trying to set the record straight here. I mean, I don't like calling people who they aren't. And I know that offends people. I figure, you know what, might as well set it straight for one. Next up, me and Kevin here were recently in an Instagram group DM.
Yes.
Today, it was I'm actually paying attention to it. I basically tried to get my point across, then I left. I had no more time here. I don't want to call it a rant. I don't want to call it a name, if you will. What it turned to be. And don't take it as me wanting to end shit. It's not a good thing to have everybody arguing, but people need to know who to deal with, who not to deal with, what to deal with, you know, how far you should go in terms of bullshit and people making deals and all this other stuff, because I've seen people posting about everybody that you should not deal with, and then they're complaining that they screwed them over. If everybody's telling you not to deal with them and you deal with them, that's your fault and only your fault.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, let's get started here. First off, we have Ben Hitachi. Now, we've got him. He's, big, mighty, 14-year-old. Somehow he thinks he owns everything. Spelling issues, for sure. I don't know. I know there were accusations of him making racial slurs in the latest action experiment. This is true. This is not fake. I have heard it firsthand myself. If anybody was wondering. I have heard as him going back in almost all only bad things about him. I do have a no-fly list that I keep in not to, accept from. And I say, he says, kids are kids, whatever, they can't always ship on time. Neither can adults. We have lives besides models. I mean, going to work, it might not be so hard to stop by the post office if it's on the way, but if it's all the way across town, that's another thing. I mean, every time I try to, send something out, I try to keep people updated the best I can. I give them an estimated time of when I'm shipping, so they can't really go bitch and moan later on when they say, oh, you know what, you haven't shipped this, you haven't shipped that, this, that, or the other. And it starts to get old. And least I can say is kids will be kids. And what can you do about it? Myself personally, I'm 17. You know what? I'm not 18. I'm not what many of you would call an adult. But I tend to try to keep myself mature enough to deal with some of these people. Try to keep myself adult-like and try to get stuff out on time. I don't like to screw over people. I mean, there's instances where people have offered me way over, prices for models, but I'm not going to screw you over just because you can. I mean, it's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know you can buy postage and you can leave your package at the door and the post office will pick it up. If that's an option, then do it. Then you don't have to have your mom or dad drive you around everywhere to the post office, to your FedEx place, all that. And so it's just there should be no reason that you can't keep somebody updated. There's no reason why you should wait a week, especially with a deal, to reply. I mean, I get it, you have a life, but if you have an ongoing deal or somebody that's interested in something, then don't hold them out for a week. It's old, okay? It makes people just lose interest. And then you whine and complain that they didn't want to buy this. Well, they suck. And so, I mean, it's just don't keep the fish on the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It only hurts them. Either take them off the hook and let them go, or take them off the hook and keep it.
Really, when it comes to model news shirts, obviously you guys know that I sell them, and I have them made myself. I sell them, I ship them myself, and it's pretty much right now the priority is the first person who buys it gets it shipped out to them first. And I have been known to give some of them away for free, but the people who buy them do get first call because they actually put money into it.
And that's perfectly fair. I mean, you put your money into something, why shouldn't it
Oh yeah.
arrive in a timely manner? Why shouldn't it arrive undamaged? Whatever the case may be, versus free. If you're getting something for free, then you have no room to complain at all. If you're complaining, then, oh man, that just bothers the hell out of me.
Oh, same, but
It is for free, people. I mean, come on.
let's put it this way. Talk about something arriving in a timely manner. Last time Diecast Emporium was on, that was well over a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember I kept saying I was going to get those 627s?
Yeah.
Still nothing. Guess the estimated arrival time is
What is that?
a month ago.
Oh, well, that's great.
They never.
Good than 3,000 toys.
Good job. I still want my scrapers, so.
Why do you think I never order from them?
Now, I do. They have great service when it comes to. Well, on certain things they have great service, but I don't really necessarily blame them, though, because it's Tonkin.
I mean, I guess it all depends on, how much stock they had and if there is still stock left over. But if the estimated release date is a month ago and they haven't delivered and they need to change it, that's on them.
Yeah.
Have you already paid for it?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I don't think. 3,000 toys, you do not pay for it if it's a pre order item, which I did pre order at the time, And now if you search up 627, it will not appear on there. So no, I did not pay for it.
Okay, good. Well, still on them.
Which sucks is because I'm still trying to get the 1,800 points I need for a $100 credit. That's the way I myself get slip form paver that Tommy regards so highly about, because it's a $115 model for a concrete curb paver. I could never see myself paying $115 for it, even if it is an NZG. But if I get that $100 credit, I could just pay $15 for it.
Right.
So,
or you can go to another place that sells it for $80, or another place that sells it for $50.
Or I could buy a fucking massive fleet of John Deere ADTs.
That's true.
Or other stuff. But here's the thing. Some of my points are getting close to expiring since you only have a year to use them, so...
You might want to use them.
Yeah, I gotta use them.
Getting back on track, though, to what I was saying earlier. Next up on the list is going to have to be Colin 11. If you have been following me and my page and him and his page, and then there's been some stuff that goes down between us all the time. To say the least, I'm not his biggest fan, nor is he my biggest fan. And part of the reason for that is, A, he never has a valid argument, ever.
It's a case backo.
Literally never.
It's a case backo. Because it's a case backo.
That he either says it's a case backo or you're all just being dicks, and that's it. Second, okay, I can't understand your sentences. Where do they end? Where does it start?
Now,
where the capital letters start of the sentence? Do you have any exclamation points?
Now, you know my typing style, and I do not use punctuation.
I know, but you use capital letters.
Yeah, that's because there's something called spell check.
And there you go. Your phone has a spell check, and then Instagram has one built in.
Yeah.
It's just there's no reason why you shouldn't have good spelling and punctuation. And that's just all part of it. Another thing that, not necessarily him, but that I frown upon. We get it. There's a lot of stuff out there, and you want everything. But you don't need to make it known that you want every single thing. Okay, I want a lot of things, but you don't seem saying that I want this, I want that, I want this so bad. I would if I had the money. Now, it's one thing to do it over, between two people, private text, whatever, this, that, or the other, if you're just having fun. But I got a DM from another guy today saying, let me get the money together in like 2 weeks, and then I'll buy it. And then I as soon as I got that, I stopped, and I'm like, so wait, so I'm talking to myself. I'm like, so you want me to wait 2 weeks for you to get the money together before you want to buy this? No. If I get another, I told him, if I get another offer beforehand, I'm gonna take it, because I'm not gonna wait 2 weeks. Not for you to get money together.
First come, first serve.
Exactly. Which I think is perfectly fair.
Yeah. I mean, going back to, overdoing the post for a model you want, you mentioned Colin. He posted, it seemed like every day that he wanted the 235 ECR.
Oh, tell me about it.
And he paid a ridiculous amount of money for it. I'm not saying, I have no right to really say anything because it's not my money.
Right.
But from an outside perspective,
it doesn't make sense.
The amount of money that he put into that, and he sold his entire collection. He could have bought a CCM 349. And they are. And
now he's saying every other day that he wants it. Okay, so here's the thing: you wanted an ECR 235 so bad. There's what, 3 other zero tail swing excavators, big ones. There's the 135 Sumitomo, and then there's 2 Liebherrs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? They all do the same thing. The difference is the Liebherrs are available at $100,
And I got one.
and the 235 is what, 300, 400 for the average 235? No, I'm sorry, but that is just ridiculous. For some paint and a decal on it? No.
Now, let me put it this way, and let me put this in perspective for all of my Instagram followers. Do you, and this, I'll ask this to you, Patrick, because I know you follow my Instagram, obviously. Do I wake up every morning and post that I want a Roadtech paver?
Nope, but you do. But you do. You mean you want one, but you wake up and post it every.
I definitely want one every day. I go to school, and when I should be doing work, I look up images of it, and I just want it that much more. But you know what? I don't sit there and post over and over that I want it. That is actually called a magical. They have a word for that. Guess what it is?
Spam.
Spam. The annoying, terrible tasting ham.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it leaves a horrible taste in my mouth. Like when I see someone post the same thing over and over again, which, let me put it this way. If you post a picture on Instagram that you posted some 50 weeks in the past, go ahead and post it again because no one's going to remember it. I do that because I haven't been able to go out lately and get many pictures. I've been busy. I've had a lot going on in my personal life. I just haven't been able to. And this actually, I've had people ask me, why are you still posting older pictures? Because I just haven't had the time. I've been very busy. You know me, Patrick, that when I go to school, I work on model news projects, but the minute I get home, I'm not really at home. I'm actually doing something.
Or sleeping.
Yeah, I barely sleep.
It makes me wonder what your grades are, Kevin.
Well, but I will
comment on that.
Moving on.
Anyway, so the next person I want to address, Zaxis 870 LCH.
No, this is gonna be good.
Otherwise known as Antonio. Now this is where I get just slightly more annoyed than everybody else. Okay?
Okay.
I've met the kid in real life at the DHS shows. And I must say at the DHS shows, he definitely puts on a fake. He's definitely not himself at the DHS shows. He's not at all himself. Okay? I understand, if he's watching this, I understand that you have my old diorama because I couldn't take it home. I get it. I really do. And I know that somehow you think that makes you awesome and cool. And I don't know why. I really don't, because you didn't work for it. You didn't build it. I just don't understand how you feel like that makes you cool. And why that's still something that you're trying to brag about to me every time that you decide to argue. Oh, I have your diorama. You know what? Shut the fuck up, kid. I'm sorry. Just shut up. I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are.
I feel like I'm playing devil's advocate in this episode because really I'm more of a neutral party, even though it doesn't seem like it. But he did though. The other night, in that fucked up.
You saw it firsthand.
Yes.
You saw it firsthand.
And then he's going like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a shit on your diorama. I'm gonna fuck it up." And like, I'm just like, kid.
I told him first time he told me that, oh, I have your diorama, and started boasting about it. I told him first time, if I see that at all used in any one of your dioramas entered for competition anywhere, that we're going to have a problem. I gave him that message up front a year in advance for the next show, okay? Mm-hmm. So, you know what? Call me an asshole for maybe taking away a little kid's dreams, but okay, you know what? You didn't work for it. You can get better and build your own. You're not going to base it off of mine. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. That does not fly in my book. Okay?
Am I cool?
It's not original. It's not cool. It's not. It's okay to base something off of if it's completely your own doing. But if you're going to take that building that I built and reuse it in yours, even if it's tearing it down, no, that's not going to fly. Sorry.
Am I cool yet?
What was that?
Am I cool yet?
Are you cool yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you are. You haven't fucked anybody over.
Well, that's why I avoid doing deals with people in the community because, well, most of the time,
You
it's
don't know who people are. You meet them
yeah,
in real life, put on a face, and then you go back to their home state, and you go to your home state, and then they're just all of a sudden assholes. Okay? The other day he was telling I say, and I quote, "Fuck off, Crocker." Okay? Please, you remember that, right?
oh yeah, I actually still have that conversation on my phone.
Good, good. I hope so, because I screenshotted a couple shots, and when I was at the show, he's being all polite to everybody that walks by. He's like, "Oh, have a nice day. Thanks for looking. This, that, and the other." You know what? That's fake.
Yeah,
It's fake. I don't know what his parents teach him. I don't know. I mean, he probably gets everything he wants. He's one of those kids because he seems to have no. He has, for lack of a better word, he has no chill. And I think that's a terrible way of putting it. But either way, it's just slightly annoying and upsetting that there's still people that want to boast about other people's work. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
Like, there's people that steal other people's pictures, and they don't credit it, and they think that people don't know. Like, they take it off a website, and you think, oh, they won't know. They won't. We know. We can tell.
yeah,
It's not hard. Okay, we've seen a lot of these pictures. I don't know why you're calling them yours, and I sure as hell don't know why you're trying to defend the fact that you think they're yours, even though they're not. If that makes sense.
yeah. Now,
I mean, I honestly don't know what I'm saying half the time, but hey.
well, it seems like you have it on order tonight. Of course,
I mean,
you've had several days to think about it though.
I have. I mean, I've watched through two rant videos, one of which was good. Y'all know whose was good. I
Kale,
mean, Kale, yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's my buddy. I'm gonna back him up whenever I can. I trust him.
I trust him
He's
too.
one of my most trusted friends on Instagram. And I'm gonna take his word over Ben Hitachi's word all day long.
You know, everybody has that list. You cannot deny. Like if you were listening here and you say on it, and you say to yourself that I don't have that list of people that I do like and I don't like, you are full of it. And I hate to say it, but you have that one person that just gets under your skin. And here's the thing with me: if you show me respect, I will gladly show it in return. You know, if and you know what? Here's the thing: I invite people to be on the show because it's a good opportunity. First off, just to hang out and have a good conversation.
Right, right.
And I've actually got to meet and be friends with some really good people through this show, and that's great. Great people like 320 DLRR. He's a good kid, and I can honestly say that I see him going big places in the community.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree.
And yes, I've had people ask if they could be on the show, and most of the time I say yes. But then there's just that one time where I just think, hey, do I really want this on my show? And it's not in a bad sense either. It's more like I sort of examine and I sort of picture what they're gonna say.
Right, right.
And normally I would not have it, but considering the state of the community, there is some things that need to be said, which is why there's this episode. And I got to say this one because this one I've been thinking about for well over a couple days. If you say you're going to quit, and then you also say you're a hardcore collector, you're lying somewhere because if you're just going to let a little bit of an argument cause you to quit and leave everything behind, you're not really a hardcore collector, are you?
No, not at all. I mean, I understand the frustration, and that you know what you quote unquote hover over the delete button,
Yeah.
but half these people are all talk. Okay, and I understand. You might get upset, but the other day, Ben says, "Oh, I'm done." Brent's like, "Oh, I'm done." And well, look, these pages are still here. Nope, they're still posting.
They're still up
No,
right
yep,
now.
yeah, I can see you're not done. So shut the fuck up. Um, Speaking of Brent,
I don't have a problem with
I don't know what to
Brent.
think of him quite yet. I'm still a little bit lost in translation. Seems like half the time he's really with me, and he really agrees with me and backs me up, and the other half the time he's against me, and he's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up," this, that, and the other. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's so I can't formulate a if anybody's wondering.
I've been able to talk to
Um,
him, and he is a really good. He's a really good kid. He is. Him and Harrison Rogers, they are two really cool kids. Harrison does a lot of train stuff, and I respect that because everybody has that second hobby. I have my sports cars, right? Not the coolest thing ever, but hell, it's my thing.
right.
I mean, ask Brandon Holiday. I can tell you all the specs of a certain sports car.
Sure.
And he has his trains, and you know what? That's cool. And Brent has his hunting. So everybody has a second hobby. So you know what? Don't be afraid to express that second hobby in front of everybody. If people laugh at you, well, they can fucking unfollow you if they don't like it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
not like you're forcing them to follow you unless you paid for your followers.
I mean, I didn't. Is that even a?
Yes,
Do
that's a
people
thing.
actually do that?
Yeah, people
Like,
actually
I
do
know it's a
that.
thing, but do people actually do it?
It's sad but true. Actually, my family think I did buy my followers on Instagram, but I can promise
I
you
mean,
I didn't.
I've had a couple comments on some of my friends, my real life friends, right here in my city, saying I did, jokingly around, but
Now, here's the thing. Every once in a while, somebody will tag me in a comment of a post that says get 4,000 followers in a matter of 25 minutes. I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I don't need 4,000 followers. I want people that will actually look at my Instagram and say, "Oh, hey, look, it's a 345B. Cool, sweet. Look, it's model, sweet."
yeah.
That's
I
the
got
kind.
tagged in some weird ass thing the other day. It was like win a women's size shoe 10 and up or something, women's size 10 shoe.
Ooh,
If
Patrick.
you tag four people, like I don't know who tagged me, and I feel like it's just this random chain of events. They just randomly choose names,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
don't I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty damn stupid. If you ask me, it's a waste of my time, waste of everybody else's time.
Oh, certainly.
Um, I mean, I just don't know what else to tell y'all. I
But
mean,
I will say this though, there will be that one time I don't post equipment on my Instagram, which I mean is perfectly fine. It doesn't always have to be just construction stuff on there, right?
right? I mean, who said it had? It's your page. You can post
Yeah,
whatever the hell you.
exactly. And if they don't like it, they're the ones who chose to follow me in the first place, so they can just reverse that operation.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be hurt by it. I see it on the followers app. I don't get hurt by it by any means. And apparently, then McLean was hosting a Skype call, guys. But I don't get hurt by any of it at all. Not by the slightest. So that's just a little heads up right there. But you know what? Oh, it is Glenn. Anyways, so if if you unfollow me for whatever reason, I'm not going to be hurt in the slightest sense of any imagination.
Yeah.
Because now I don't want to sound like an asshole, but looking at the statistics, every 9 followers I lose, I gain 50. So
uh,
it's gonna balance out eventually. So if I lose, I gotta do the calculations here.
no, who cares? It's not about followers in the
Oh,
end.
certainly not. It's about the equipment, but
I mean, I'm looking at my list of, people that I don't deal with here, right? Okay. Hang on. There it is.
Now I just did the calculation. So every me 7.5 people, yeah, a half a person follows me. And does that matter to me? No, I just find that the statistics cool. That's the reason I have the app, is because I like statistics and stuff, even though I fucking suck at math.
People here. I say people because I don't know who it is. And I've heard accusations by many people about many people. And these are the logging truck accounts and the Mobile 3 account.
Brandon Watkins.
Yeah, that's a fake name. If you haven't figured it out, our community. I've heard accusations about Ben Hitachi being the creator of these accounts. Actually, Kevin, I've even heard one about you being the creator of this account.
I can tell you right now, wholesomely and honestly, that is false.
I mean, I believe you over many people. Now, I don't know who the accounts are, but I know that it's purposeful. They're purposely trying to piss people off.
Kind of obvious.
And it's not a joke anymore. Now, I say this, give it 3 days, and I know another one's going to come up.
So,
because some get butthurt, but hey, you know what? Fuck them. Block them, and you know what? If you block them, they can't take pictures. They can't, I mean, they're not going to comment on you. You won't see that comment, and they can't comment on your shit, so everybody's happy.
now here's the thing, though. I'm going to be truthfully honest. If you create a fake account, that's just childish.
Especially if it's just to fuck with people, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like
what?
Oh,
Do you have something?
I don't know. In your own Instagram? Go to I had to say that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, with the world today, I mean.
Okay, next up we have H280. Everybody's that name. I know that everybody, as soon as I said that name, was like, oh shit, this kid again.
So I was thinking.
I guarantee it. I mean, it's almost like a 90% guarantee, you know. If you're stupid enough to fuck with him, then you deserve to get ripped off. People and say that he's a nice person. Yep, you're full of shit. Because we know that that's not true. And please quit telling people to DM you. If you want to DM someone, then DM them. It's not our job to DM you.
Yeah, like seriously, there's that DM button at the top.
That goes for everybody. I don't care who you are, man.
Oh,
come on. If you want to talk, you can DM us.
Man, can I say this real fast?
Go.
All right, so if the post says it's not for sale,
then it isn't for sale.
And by the way, if you see a model and you want to know if it's for sale, check their profile, because most model collectors have a thing that says no models are for sale or for trade.
I just get lost every day, and I see these for sale comps. How does a picture of two Liebherr Zero Tail Swing X I'm lost. How does a diorama picture constitute that something's for? I don't see it. I don't know about you.
I don't either.
But I don't see it.
I mean, I've had people message me at the fucking weirdest times in the morning. One guy asking if they could have my shuttle buggy, like they didn't want to pay for it, like they just was like felt that they were entitled to it. And that pisses me off because I only had the model one day too. And the shuttle buggy, if you did not know, is a pretty rare model that very few people have the privilege of owning.
Right.
And I consider it a gift from Roadtech, considering the fact I got it for free, but...
And
And by the way, I just gotta say this: stop asking me where it's from. I just told you where to get it. So
I don't see how people haven't figured this out yet. I mean, it's only been posted 1,500 times.
exactly. So if you want to now, if they're pretty new to collecting and want to know where to get models at, and I can see that, do the respectable thing and give them little pointers. If you're new in the community and you need some help, I'll be glad to help you. Now, someone said there is no such thing as stupid questions, and that is
Yes,
true.
there is. That's just an outright fucking lie.
No,
Whoever told you that, yeah, don't listen to them.
actually, is Sal.
They said there's no such thing as stupid questions?
Hmm.
Okay, well, there are such thing as stupid questions. I have to disagree with him on that one.
I was gonna say that there is no such thing as stupid questions to a extent.
There's stupid questions and there's stupid answers, okay? Stupid questions? I'll give you an example of a stupid question. I posted a picture of an R926, 2 days ago, maybe yesterday? I don't even remember what day I posted it. Okay? Example of a stupid question. What kind of Liebherr excavator is that? That's a stupid ass question.
What brand of excavator is that?
I posted this is here you go, real life example here. Posted that 336 with the fixed thumb that I had I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. And I specifically stated it's a Norscott Cat 336D with a KCM fixed thumb, right?
Yeah.
First comment I got on there, what model cat excavator is that? And that wasn't even said jokingly. Like, you can tell, that was a legit question.
Now here's the thing: if you can see it, like, okay, yeah, but here's the thing: if like the numbers like off, like where you cannot see it, honestly, that'd be my mistake if it was my photo and I'd say it. But if it's right in front of you, it's common sense.
Especially if it's in the if it's the caption.
Yeah, and also, if here's the thing: if you ask a quote unquote stupid question and you're nice about it, I will answer it. I'll be glad to answer. But if you're rude and disrespectful about it,
Yeah,
I
fat
will. I
man.
will fucking be just as rude and disrespectful back. And that's the way I've always worked. If you demand to be on my show, I will demand that you fuck off.
Exactly.
But if you
I
say,
see nothing wrong with that. If
no,
people, people call you an asshole, but I've heard it all before. People, it's nothing new to me.
yeah,
I cannot tell you how many times I've been called an asshole because of my beliefs, or a shithead, or a dickhead, or whatever variation of head you want to call me. I've heard it all
Patrick
before.
has a lot of head.
Oh, my head. I've been told that I have a big head, and that's true. But it houses a very, very big brain.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing: like with me,
And that's cocky, but you know what? I don't
Here,
care.
here's an example of something I will answer to. Hey, Kev. And this is an example. It doesn't exactly have to be like this. Hey, Kev, what's up? How are you today? So I was wondering if I could be on your show sometime. I'll probably reply, certainly. Whenever you can do it is fine with me.
And that's exactly the way you got to go about it now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like it was 3 years ago, where the community wasn't completely on the same page and everybody agreed on the same thing and everybody watched Sal's collection update 3 times a month, and then everybody seemed to say in unison, "Wow, great collection, Sal. Keep it up." It's not like that anymore.
I must say, I was one of the people that watched it 3 times a month. I always thought his collection updates were the shit.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta say this. Um, when he did that picture contest and I won. Oh god, like watching the bloopers, I watched that video probably 100 times.
I I feel like I remember that video, but at the same time, I feel like I don't.
Now here's the thing, I gotta do a blooper reel one time for Model News.
Oh,
Like
you should.
the phone ringing, he just rolled his eyes back in his head. He's like, oh fuck, here we
You
go.
know what would be a good one to use? The one right here between Model Source and this and Kevin's show here.
That did that, and here's the thing, I did that on purpose. I told McLean I was gonna do that.
Well, no, no, not the end of it. The one where I fucked up take one here.
Oh, that, yeah.
That'd be funny.
And the one where Joe goes, everything's fucked up. The Cake Up of Joe.
I don't. I feel. Oh man, I'm having a hard time remembering that, honestly.
JJ was there. Me and JJ laughed uncontrollably for about 20 minutes. And if you're, by the way, guys, if you're thinking either one of us is an asshole for that, for what we've been saying, I mean, and
Fuck off.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna
What?
I was gonna say that most of this is Patrick speaking, and this is him venting off anger from a lot of things. And there are quite a few points that I agree with him with.
Here's one thing. Here's one thing about me. One thing about me is that I will say whatever comes to my head. For all intents and purposes, I have no reason to not say what I think. Okay, it's a free country. You want to get mad at me? Great, get mad at me. You know what? That's what the block button is for.
And here's the thing, like, so I've heard people ask if I could tone down the language on my show. Yeah, first off, fat fucking chance.
You know what? There's 3 other shows on this channel. Go watch those 3 other shows. You don't have to watch this one.
Exactly,
I applaud Diecast Emporium for keeping his PG as much as he can, and I understand that there's you don't really what is the benefit of swearing and all this, and honestly, is there a benefit? Nah, probably not. Not in the long run, there's not.
But
it really gets the point across, I found.
Yeah, and also it actually adds that little bit of humor to it too.
I like every once in a while there's gonna be that one funny one, yeah.
And since we're being all honest in this video, people love when I do K-Cup of Joe with Joe because I seem to lose quite a few IQ points between this show and that one. Now, let me put it this way. That's actually done on purpose. And the shows are not scripted by any stretch of the imagination, okay? And it seems like these days it's all about viewers. And I've taken 3 years of broadcasting and mass media classes that basically teach you how to use all this equipment, that tells you how news broadcast goes on, that teaches you like all the little dirty secrets on television that you don't know about. And here's the thing, if people laugh and they enjoy a show, keep that gimmick up, but don't do the same thing every time.
Exactly.
So, like, say,
for instance. I mean, it's a comedy show, and I must say, by all stretch of the imagination, it's pretty fucked up show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's funny.
I mean, you know me outside of all this model news stuff. You know me as a person. You're one of the few people I've ever had a camera to my face to.
Yeah.
And I am that funny guy. At least I hope I am. I've been told a lot, but I don't like that side.
It might be funny, but there is a point that goes too far, and I mean, I'm not.
I know
I'll happily say whatever I'm feeling, but there is a point that even I think is too far.
And I will say that I do know those boundaries, and me and Joe, we discussed this when we put in the framework of, and if you don't think that we just record and upload randomly, we don't. When me and Joe were really starting to plan out how he's really going to do this, and this is a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that you don't normally hear about. We actually set a standard of stuff. Like, we're not going to do any racial slurs.
And that's one thing that bothers me up front, right there.
Exactly,
if you're
me too.
Throw around the N-word, then you better expect to get some heat from that, okay? Because that's not right.
I have African American family.
That's it's still wrong.
Oh yeah, certainly. And
I don't care if you're white and using a white guy. You know what? For all you know, this guy right on the other side of the wall. And
yeah, but we also another standard is we're not going to talk about terrorist groups. We're not going to talk about politics because nobody wants to hear about politics. If you want to hear about politics, you go watch CNN.
Yeah, there you go.
Go watch CNN or Fox News. That's like a Republican debate right there.
You can go watch Donald Trump bitch and moan.
Exactly. This is and the reason that we do these shows is because we want to do something that the community doesn't have, and pretty much everywhere else has. There is no themed shows in the community up until this point where people can talk about construction equipment and people listen to it. And that's what this is about. And yeah, there's no visuals. This is just like a radio show or a podcast. Yes, but you know what? People love in that format. So trust me, I hear all the time, great show. I listen to it when I'm going to work or when I'm going to school or this or that. And that's what we was, something that you can listen to and sit back and enjoy. And we're not
Right.
these harsh assholes because we want to do these shows for your entertainment, your enjoyment. But there is boundaries, and there's even boundaries on the Instagram community side of things that have been crossed, which is why Patrick and me are pissed off about some things, and which is why this video is being made. Because there are boundaries, and they have been crossed.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. People have been saying, oh, what, the community's gone to shit, this, that, and the other.
Not really.
I mean, a couple people have.
I was about to
now, would I personally say that I have had a part in making it go to shit? Slightly? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have a low tolerance level. I really do. And I'm perfectly fine with telling everybody that. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try to tolerate. I mean, I gave at the start of my page. Kale convinced me to go. Get a page. I was talking with him one day. He's like, you know what? You should make a diecast page. So you know what? I find myself a week later having this page, right?
Yeah.
And so, I don't really know anybody else here in the community except for, even back then because Sal wasn't on, Instagram, YouTube, this, that, and the other. I just knew people that I already had previously met, from the DHS open houses and all that. But, I didn't know AJH28. I didn't know Alan Holland. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know this, that, or the other. He DM'd me a couple times asking me to trade. I told him, nothing's for my sale. That was that, But then it turned into, once a week.
And then for me, once daily.
And then it turned into, once every 3 days. Or this, that, or the other. DM me. I gave kid every chance that I could. At one point he even said DM me, and I DM'd him. And asked, and you know what, I told him, present your case, I'll do what you say here, you know what, and then he did the same thing again.
No,
so, goodbye.
That's the dark side of the community, really, because you meet people, and the good side is you make friends. But the dark side is you also get to see people that you wouldn't normally see. You get to see a side of them that makes you cringe at them.
Like, for instance here, JJ, okay? I'm really good friends with JJ.
Same.
And I met him at open house. Now, I will say, meeting JJ has cost my wallet lots and lots of money. And I mean more money than I can even probably comprehend by myself.
You need a calculator?
Shit, yeah, I do.
Based
on my calculations, and this is in no way bragging, and I know many people have spent more than that. I mean, in 3 months, I spent $2,000 on models. And I mean, I've probably sent JJ over, however long I've been really talking with him. I don't know, what, $500 maybe? Just buying stuff from him, trading him, shipping stuff. I've been shipping stuff everywhere. All over the country, and I mean, it's amazing to see that there are people everywhere that share an interest in everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, just by shipping stuff, you can see, who's where, how close are they to you, this, that, and the other. Are they gonna? Is there any possible chance that maybe they'll come up to the DHS show, or you could convince them to, And it's just, that's the nice part about it, Once you block out all the people that really, in my opinion, don't have a place, it's great. It really is great. I mean, Tommy, for instance, he's been on YouTube for a little while now. for all intents and purposes, he was running it after Saw kind of quit. And you know what? Now he's on Instagram and he posts quite a bit. I mean, I like him, and I like his posts, and I like everything. You know, I like that it's not just diecast, it's fire trucks, it's EMS, it's racing. He's got a nice diversified focus and interest, and I think that's great. And but there's just people here that don't have their place. Now I'm not saying I'm not going to take it to the extent of, you know, what people have been. They're like, oh, you know what, kill yourself. You're an outcast. Delete your page. This, that, and the other. But if you're not going to contribute and you're just going to hate, just I don't know why you're here. You know, you sell your collection and you're still here. You're posting pictures of whatever the, you know, what, Dodge and Ford engines, and then you're going to go hate on other people's work. You don't have a collection. You haven't done any real customization work. And I've said some not so great things about some work and how to improve on it and all this. And what I found is that people don't take the tips. I mean, I might not do what people would call full customs.
Oh, neither do I.
But I definitely know how to improve some stuff. I just don't have the heart to go chop up a $75 model for something, you know?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's one thing removing a stick and installing a shear, but taking a 320 and cutting the counterweight and gluing it back on, yes, there's a real machine, a 320 DLRR, you know? We've covered this before, and I know we've covered this before.
Oh, certainly.
Last show, maybe?
Yeah.
And, you know, 320 DLR on Instagram, he did that pretty goddamn well. One of the best I've seen.
Exactly. Now,
I've seen 3 really, really good ones. And that's one of them. But it's not a 328. That's not, if you just leave it there and you glue it, and you're not going to sand it, you're not going to paint it, you're not going to strip it, then you know what? It's probably going to look like shit because you didn't put the time in it. You just wanted to rush it.
now I gotta say this though. I love this community to death. If I didn't, I wouldn't be devoting so much time for it. You know my schedule. You know, I set aside quite a bit of time each week to do stuff within the community, not just model news. You know, I'm that kind of person that that will walk to a construction site, walk 7 miles to a construction site. You know, I can drive, yes, but there's not that excitement factor of just getting there. Then you don't really enjoy it as much. If you know what I'm saying.
I feel like some of the people don't understand what goes into what we do. You know, so sure, you know what? I'm not going on construction sites every other day.
Neither am I.
Yeah, same. But like, you know, you get out there more than I do to the sites. But even just taking pictures of models, you know what? I cannot tell you how many pictures I've taken of the same exact angle, trying to get it perfectly right. You know, trying to find that good background that doesn't look like shit, trying to put something together, cleaning stuff. It might seem like little stuff, but it all adds up in the end. And if I had a guesstimation, I'm not going to say I do it every day, but every time I take pictures, I'll probably sit down for an hour and start, cleaning stuff up, taking pictures, this, that, and the other, trying to get there's stuff that goes into it. It's not just, snap a blurry pic and then post it. That's just not good content. I'm sorry. But,
No.
If your feelings are hurt, then you can just, sorry, goodbye.
But what I'm saying is, like, when I go to a construction site, I want to enjoy it. So, like, this Sunday, I'm planning on going up to the site with a 345 and all that. And can I drive there? Most certainly, but I'm not going to for two reasons. First off, there's nowhere to legally park. And second off, it's because it's the excitement of getting there that drives you. And also, you can get quite fit from that as well. But, anyways, and you actually sit there and you enjoy your time as well. And also, you don't have to worry about your car. Like, what the hell's going on with my car? If it's out of sight and all that. And it's not. If I want to walk there, that's my own choice. But am I gonna take pictures? Most certainly, because first off, do I enjoy being around the equipment? Most certainly. If you are in this community and you don't like being around the real thing, that's just like saying that. Patrick, you're good with metaphors on this one. That's just
if you're collecting models but you don't want to be around the real thing, then goodbye.
I was gonna say, like, if you
Okay, it's one thing. It's one thing if you're collecting models and you have a job that's outside of the realm of construction.
like Tommy,
Like Tommy, perfect example. Because here's the thing, and it doesn't apply to everybody, but people have families, kids, dogs, whatever,
girlfriends.
mortgages, houses, girlfriends, whatever your case may be. And unfortunately, not always a $15 an hour job can do that.
Yeah, and
And you can't. Unfortunately, you can't support a family of four to the best extent possible.
and still collect models.
Sitting on an excavator and still collecting. Exactly. You either got to pick. I got to provide for my family first and then collect models after.
Oh,
And
sir,
even
yeah.
then, your spouse is sometimes probably going to have a job. In that it's just how life works. You always can't have a job in the construction sector.
And there's always going to be that kid that wants to sound cool, be like, "Oh yeah, I value my models over everything else." That's a fucking lie. I can tell you right now, if I lost every cent I ever had, and I still have a girlfriend to take care of, I would sell my models just to take care of her because she comes first.
And one other thing that I want to touch on. I don't know how long we're getting into it here.
I tell by how many megabytes we use, and we're up to 63.
Is that a lot?
It's getting close to an hour, but that's all right.
Anyway, one other thing I want to touch on is people seem to be having like I guess I want to say operating contests. Like I've operated this longer than you, so I'm better. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, I think
Just because you operated something one time or two times or even 400 fucking times.
Are you thinking
Yeah,
of a
you're
name?
not better than somebody else. I'm sorry.
Are you thinking of a name I'm thinking of?
Oh, I'm thinking of many names.
I'm thinking of one in specific.
To start with the D?
A D?
Sure.
Starts with a D.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Now I want to say this though as well to add on to that. A lot of people wonder why Sal sold his collection. He had to get a car. And honestly, I would do the same thing because, transportation is very important. You can't rely on your parents forever. So I can see why he sold his collection for his car, and you know what? It's a sick ass car.
Right, and
I mean, and let's put it this way: he's also faced criticism for not getting a truck. Well, let's put it this way: not everybody. I gotta say this: not everybody in the community is not a quote unquote country boy.
okay. There's 15 variations of the username Country Boy in this community. Okay, first of all, please identify yourself, differentiate yourself. And then second of all, who gives a rat's ass about what kind of engine is in your truck?
I got a 1987 Dodge Cummins in a 2003 Ford pickup dumpy thingy.
I understand that
Seriously.
you know what, everybody's got their favorite this, that, and the other. And I understand that a lot of people also base that off of complete bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you're 14, you don't even have a car.
Or truck. You have a
Or
golf
truck. Your parents drive you, and you might be sitting in the passenger seat.
and you got a golf cart or a gator or a lawnmower.
Shut up.
Oh,
It does the same thing across the board. Sure, what?
Let's put it this way.
Each is slightly different, but it gets it done.
Fuel goes in one end, combustion happens, goes out the exhaust, and it propels wheels. What's the fucking difference?
I'm not like following how making an engine is gonna make or break your life.
If you
Cummins and Dodge, yeah, okay. You know what? You got that. Good. Those two go together. Now, Ford, yep, those two go together. Chevy and Chevy, yep, those two go together. Gay man's car and
Toyota.
Toyota. Yeah, well,
Prius.
gay man's car is kind of just like a Chevy, but
Hey, hold on.
no, not. I mean, it's the same company. You know what I'm saying?
N-
GMC and Chevy.
hold on. I personally own 2 Chevy cars.
Right. No, I like Chevy, but then there's GMC,
Oh well, that's
which just
speaking of
piggybacks off
that.
Chevy.
Well, yeah, but let's put it this way though.
I say
All all
gay man was a
vehicles
misrepresentation,
all
honestly.
vehicles need service at different points, and all vehicles have the chance of breaking down. So, found on road dead. As much as I hate Ford, my cars have just as much chance of breaking down as the Fords.
You know,
And a Dodge truck has the same possibility of breaking down as a Ford or a Chevy or a GMC or God forbid some weird Prius knockoff thing with a redneck swimming pool in the back.
so I want to touch on another thing. It's the same with the thing about cars here. Someone offers you a Mitsubishi whatever, and then someone offers you a 1980 Volkswagen Bug. Okay, the Mitsubishi is $20,000. The Volkswagen Bug is free. What are you going to choose?
The free.
Exactly. So I don't. I'm not. I'm gonna relate this to the trucks here. It's it's not about the make of the car. It's about it gets the job done.
As
The Volkswagen does the same thing as the Mitsubishi. Sure, it's a little bit older and it's free. The Mitsubishi is a little bit newer and it's more expensive. But in the end, it gets you from point A to point
Point
B
D
to point C to
exactly.
point D to point Z. I don't even give a shit. You can go take a road trip across the U.S. and come back. It gets you there. It gets you back. You might have a problem, but it still gets you there.
Now, I'll be honest, who gives a flying fuck what type of lift kit you have or what kind of wheel spacers you have? Because in the
Kind of
end, one day,
exhaust got.
one day, nobody's gonna give a fuck. Because one day, and I hate to tell you this, but you're gonna die, and nobody's gonna give a fuck.
One day you're gonna be 40 years old and you're gonna fuck you were putting like tractor trailer exhaust stacks into the back of your Dodge Cummins
Or
and put
for fuck's sake, for God forbid, for put exhaust stack through the hood.
it's just you know what? Everybody's got their personal preference, and I can respect that.
Oh
But
yeah.
when it starts arguments about stupid shit like that, then it's just that's too far, man. It just really is.
I mean,
And
honestly,
I don't want to drag on the show with whining and bitching and moaning, as
uh,
most people would call it.
well, we're not
Like
whining,
you said,
bitching, and moaning. We're expressing our opinions.
it's expressing our opinions and our views, and you know,
As hard as it is to believe, the community is like America, free voice.
yeah.
You guys are entitled to judge, but you know what? If you were mentioned in this video, maybe you're not entitled to judge because Patrick mentioned you for a reason, I guess. And you
I
know what? Here's a good chance to tell if I have respect for you or not. If you DM me on Instagram and I reply back, that means I got respect for you. But if I don't DM you, and don't expect me to DM you right away or reply
one thing
back.
one thing I want to point out. You just said that a reason for mentioning your name. Do I have a reason? Yes, I have a reason. But think about everybody else who had a reason, okay? You know, Ben Hachi is going to get for lying, okay? So, and then Kayla going to call out Ben for lying. You know,
It goes around in a circle.
it does, okay? So, it's one of you two that's going to be lying here. It's either going to be Ben or it's going to be Kayla who's lying here. Personally, who am I going to choose to be lying? It's probably going to be Ben. I don't trust Ben, and I trust Kale, and I know that Kale's not going to lie to me.
Yeah.
And I really do. I trust Kale. I trust Tommy. I have my list of people that I trust, and then I'd take their word over somebody else's all day long. And there's a reason why people mention your names, and there's a reason why people tell other people not to deal with you, and why
people block you.
people make lists of people of not to deal with, so people don't get fucked over in the end. So people don't have to go through all the hassle, okay. Here's my PayPal information. Here's my address. Here's this, that, and the other, and then expecting you to ship something or send a payment, you back out. See, that's what we call a no-fly list. It's one thing if you say, you know what, maybe I want this. Let me see by the end of the week if I have the funds available, and then the person that says that is like, you know what, if you get another offer, take it, do it. You know what, you don't have to wait for me to hold on to it. In fact, I did that just the other day.
Yeah.
And you know what, I couldn't swing the cash at the time. But I'm not gonna say, you know what, hold it for me. The guy was nice enough to hold it that long. But you know what?
Now, here's the thing. And here's what goes behind my list of people who want to deal with. And ultimately, it's like this. Do I want this person to have my details? Do I want them to have my phone number? Do I want them to have all this information?
Right.
And that's what goes behind the decision for, me and I guess you as well. Do I want this person having my personal contact details? Because believe it or not, everybody has two different lives, if not more. You got your personal life that us on Instagram don't know about and shouldn't know about in some cases. And then there's the life that we see on Instagram. So a lot of us can put on the best face that we can for Instagram, but when you get into conversations with people, say on Skype or in real life or whatever, you really start to see what that person really is like.
And you know, everybody who's used it has used the word community loosely. And what it is, it's a group of people that enjoy the same stuff. Yeah, what most people know the definition of community. If you don't, then you need to get some help. And it,
Yeah.
that's exactly. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm at a loss for words, and I'm gonna stop talking about all this stuff right now. I really don't want to drag this on any longer than it has to go. And it's already been an hour of basically myself whining, complaining.
Now
People. Okay, let me phrase that. People will view it as me whining and complaining, but it's my opinions. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Ben, you don't have to like Kale. Kale, you don't have to like Ben. We get the fucking point.
Here's the thing.
And I'm not accusing Kale, and I'm not. Well, actually, I am accusing Ben.
No,
but,
hold on. I gotta say this though. If you don't like each other, stop making rants about each other. Stop dragging this bullshit on and dragging other people into it. If you have a problem with each other, deal with it yourselves. Quit dragging everybody else along with you.
Do it through DMs.
For fuck's sake. That's what's causing the issues, because one person wants their friend to back it up, then they had this, that, them, me, you. Everybody gets dragged into it. Everybody gets in a fight with each other, and everybody gets sucked into it, which is causing the fucking problem that we are right now. And I said this in my Instagram post the other day. This is my community. This is your community. This is everybody's community. Everybody has a chunk of the community with them at all times. Small piece of the community with you. And so why don't we put all those pieces together, and why don't we make a place that everybody can enjoy?
And
it's not political.
You may not like what I have to say. I don't. Whoever's listening, you might not like what I have to say, and you might not like what I have had to say in the past. What I have said, and I think, honestly, I do it somewhat comical when you bring all your 12-year-old friends to back you up. I really do. I mean that in the funniest way possible. Because I think that's hilarious. And it gets old, but it's hilarious. And I mean, so we've got you even old enough to, like, what if I found your parents' Instagram account and sent them a DM on what have you been sending? Well, on how you've been talking. What would they approve of that? Probably not. Same could be said for myself, and I mean, I've dropped a couple. No, you're not a couple. I've dropped a lot of words this show.
I mean, come on. Everybody cusses at one point or another.
But let's be realistic. You know what? you know what? I'm not an adult. I'm not living on my own. I'm not supporting myself. I'm supporting my models. I'm supporting. I'm not one of those people that ask their parents to buy everything. And I'm not saying that anybody is in particular right now, but if somebody got sick of me saying something or they disapproved, then they would probably come down here and yell at me because they can hear me through the ceiling. I mean, it's been known. I can hear people through the ceiling. Okay? It's not about how you say stuff, I guess. It's about how you act.
Yeah.
In the environment that we have put ourselves in. If you're going to act like an ass, then you're going to get treated like an ass. If you're going to act like a nice person, you're going to be treated as a nice person. And if you're going to be an idiot, you're going to be treated like an idiot. And that's just the natural progression of things.
And here's how I put it. And there is an old saying I'm gonna bring up here: you reap what you sow. And what I mean by that is, if you put good into the community, you're gonna get just as much good, if not more, out of it. If you're nice and respectful to people, people are gonna be nice and respectful back, and people will want to give you all these great bargains on models that they're selling. They'll sell them to you for less than what they're worth, and that's a good thing. But if you're an asshole, don't expect these great deals to come up. Don't expect people to give you heads up on stuff. I'm not in the position I am in model news by asserting authority over everybody. I did it by being generous to people, by being understanding, being that person that we'll talk to, but yet being the person that also looks out for everybody he's friends with. Model news is more than just a show, and that's the motto that we've come up with. More than just a show, we're common ground for all the community because we have all different types of personalities in it. We got people who have operated plenty of machinery, people that own machinery, people that work with machinery on a day-to-day basis. Then you got people like me who do not. People that collect the models and have aspirations to go into it, but they're not there yet. And that's what makes it so great is that model news is like a community. It's so diverse. You got so many different people and all these different backgrounds mixing together. And if it's used improperly, and we choose to be the racist and all that, then look what it turns into. It turns into mass chaos. But if we can all work together and respect each other's boundaries, so again, like not using the N word or certain things like that, or not using a certain phrase or calling somebody overweight or whatever, then if we can respect people's boundaries, then we can all get along and we can all make this community a great place like it should be, like it's always been destined to be. But that and a lot of our judgment has been clouded by our feelings for each other, but sometimes we just have to get over that. Sometimes we have to get over each other's feelings and deal with each other in a professional manner. If you don't like somebody, block them, get rid of them, make them disappear to yourself. You don't need to go on long tirades. You don't need to put a rant video up on YouTube because in the end, that makes you look bad. And it makes the other person look more innocent. And I have a lot of respect for Kale. I always have and I always will. And I do think a lot of the things he said in that rant was right. But if there's ever a point in the video that you listen to and you take away from, make it this part where there is reason and where we're not just bashing people. And that wasn't the point of the video. I wanted to, sort of sit there and let Patrick talk and let him air off because there are a lot of good points that Patrick said. Most of his points are valid. And you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. We just need to function like a community like we have in the past, like we did in 2012. Sure, Rabbit Smeller 400 isn't here. Sure, 430 Bobcat isn't making dioramas. Sure, Sal is not uploading a collection update every week. But you know what? Why can't we make it the environment that was like it back then, and have people upload collection updates every week and all that? Maybe they're not Sal. Maybe they don't have high end models, but you know what? At least people will get to see what you have from a different perspective.
I mean, we've been rambling on here for
quite some time,
a good hour about this. And for those of you that like rants, oh, you're gonna love you. I mean, you probably love this. I mean, this is just your parade. If you really like rants, and this was
And
great little addition to your day. But at least to end the show on a good note, I would like to switch the topic
yeah,
to what do you think about the new Peterbilts?
I'm psyched for him.
Me too.
And you know what? Out of respect to the topic, I'm not going to mention any of that about the 24-hour live stream. But I do want to mention this though. Um, my respects and condolences do go out to the people of Paris, France. They suffered 7 terrorist attacks today, November 13th, 2015. It most of the people that were killed in a stadium, and from watching CNN earlier, one person tweeted out from the stadium saying that they were going around killing people one by one. We talk about people being harsh and inhumane, and it is true. And the reason that they're doing this is for retaliation because we killed the guy who was beheading everybody for ISIS. That's the whole reason behind it. But really, why can't we be all humans again and really get along? I applaud the World Trade Center, the Port Authority of New York for what they're doing. They're lighting up the spire of One World Trade Center in the French tricolor. And my sincerest condolences go out to friends, family, loved ones of people who did lose their lives tonight. So I ask guys, if you're watching this video now or a year in the future, keep them in your thoughts and prayers, no matter what time it is. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers as you head into your weekend or this tough Monday morning, or whatever you're watching this. You can only imagine the pain that they're going through right now. And yes, we've been ranting about some things, and you know what?
It pales in comparison to what this is.
This is nothing compared to what they're going through. Yes, the community's going through pain right now, but think about what they're going through. And I love France. It's a beautiful country. The 24 Hours of Le Mans that I watch in every June. I did mention before I am a sports car fan. That race happens about every year in June, right a week after my birthday. 10 miles outside of Paris in a town called Le Mans. They literally shut the whole town down for one race. So, you know, definitely being able to relate through that, have a little connection to France by being a super fan like that, you know, it makes it seem so much more unreal. And remember the whole incident, the Hugo or the one place earlier this year that had that, where they went in and killed editors because they posted a picture of supposedly Muhammad. I mean, it's just simple insecurities and stuff like that that cause these issues. So why can't we just, get along with each other?
You want to know the reason for that, Kevin?
Why?
Because people don't shut their damn mouths.
Yeah. So guys, I want to end the show on that note. Just keep the people of France in your thoughts and prayers. No matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is. If you are in the construction community and you're watching this, or if you're not, there are lessons to be learned from this episode.
One thing I want to, I know we're winding this down. I just said it's because people don't shut their damn mouths. Sure, you know what is freedom of speech, however you can, but it's stuff like so. What have I heard this past week? Well, let's see. The Starbucks cup change, you. I say you people, I like the people that are watching, but it's not your fault. It's the people that have nothing better to do with their lives than want. It's frustrating. It gives me a loss for words because you couldn't be doing something to make the world a better place, and yet you're be perfectly. You want okay?
It's buy it.
Man, it just...
It's simple bullshit causes the issue. If you don't like, if you say you're taking pictures of a certain piece of equipment, you don't like detailing on it, don't take a picture of it.
And another thing that I saw the other day, Colin is raising their minimum wage to 15. People, working fast food for $15.
They did, I mean,
And one thing I want to put in here, the last to do, but those people got what they want. 15%. Now they're whining about that. So you know what? That's what happens when you open your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about. If you're gonna do that, do your research first, people. Come on.
I mean,
you have no reason to make more money than people that are trying to, fighting wars in Afghanistan. 1,500 faces over the week. And it's true. I don't know how much the people in Afghanistan, fighting make, and $15 an hour seems a lot. Flipping burgers and working a drive-through.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough job. That's just what happens when you open your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about.
And let's put it this way. I mean, there's a lot of shit that's going on this year. There's been a lot of buzz about the gay marriage thing, and you know what?
If it doesn't affect you, then don't comment on it.
Honestly, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm from a traditional Christian household, and that means that we're supposed to love all people. Do I support what they do? It's to me it's ethically wrong because the Bible does pretty much say it's marriages between a man and a woman, but it's not my decision. It's your decision what sexual orientation you want to be. And I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, well, he hates gays." I don't hate gay people. I just hate the decision that they made. And yes, is that controversial? You bet your ass it is. But it's the way it is. Everybody has their different opinions, and you know what? Gay marriage, if they want to be married to each other, they can, because it doesn't affect me.
The way I grew up and saw stuff, going up to my point, if it doesn't really harm me in any way, shape, or form, then why should I care?
And here's the thing. If I get DMs saying, "Oh, the video, it's wrong," if you just like videos that's on the content, I can't stop you from doing that. But you know what? Does it make, one dislike, does it make the world stop turning? No. I'm still going to wake up every morning. I'm still going to...
And we're still going to be doing the Kevin Show.
Oh, certainly. You know what? If I have more dislikes than likes, I'm still going to do it. Because I still get text messages from people saying, "Hey, great show, Kev. Keep it up." And that's not why I still do it. I do it because, well, actually, it sort of is. I do it because people listen, and people like to listen. And here's the thing. I made a comment in the group chat that I have something that a lot of people have lost, and that's an audience. Because people just don't want to listen to their bullshit.
Hell, you've got something that most people are missing.
Obviously...
You know what I'm talking about, Kevin?
What?
I believe this came up in the group thing the other day. I mean, we're not gonna delve into it here, but you know what?
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, you guys listen to this show, and you know what? I'm not just speaking for myself on some things. Well, most things. I'm speaking for everybody. I literally will go and ask people, and I've asked Patrick a couple times what his opinions on things were, and that influences what I say on the show. I do throw my opinions out there, but I also give the people's input.
Right.
And this show is about getting together and having a common ground where everybody can listen and have a good time. And that's what it's all about. So I think we should drag this on long enough.
I agree. I'm
tired and I gotta pee.
Tired of sounding whiny.
But here's the thing, guys. If you didn't get many laughs out of this episode, well, the next episode there will be some laughs, There's always the next episode to look forward to. If you don't like a certain next episode, don't watch it. Just move on because every episode is different. I've proven that.
And I'm almost positive that whenever Kevin posts that this show goes up, he's going to put on there a brief summary of what it is,
And if
like usually.
and it's your choice whether to click on it or not.
I mean, granted, they don't always know what's going to be in it before they click on it, but
I'll put what's in it,
true. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we can do that.
and I told him the next episode of the Kevin Show was going to be interesting. And it's really the 2 episodes now. So, but anyways, so anything else you want to say?
Me? No, I've ranted on and whined and complained and bitched and moaned, and I've been sitting here voicing my opinion. My opinion's gone. If I remember on another Kevin show with you, then I don't think I'll need to need to complain about anything any longer.
Well,
I feel like I've covered every.
You've been on here a couple times, so
Yeah,
so we'll probably have you back again. But and that's why I mean, people reaction for him was pretty good. So
One more thing that I just thought of before we end this. I saw this the other day. Commenting on Diecast Construction Expert's name. His name, Diecast Construction Expert.
it doesn't mean he's an exact expert.
Right. No one's an expert. Okay, that's just a fact of life. No one's an expert. No one claims to be an expert. He didn't claim that I'm the supreme expert of the construction. No. Okay, does he know more than a lot of people? Sure. Do I know more than quite a few people? Sure. But are there people that know more than me? Oh, hell yeah, sure.
Oh, certainly.
100%. So, I mean, with that note, I'd like to end it.
All right, guys. So, definitely, if you made it through this, you guys deserve quite a bit. And you know what?
Self a pat on the back.
Yeah, really. But you know what, guys? Through all we said, I thank you guys a lot for watching, and I hope that you guys learned something, and you can actually carry something in now, and we can maybe start getting along for once. And you know what? Or not for once, but get back to getting along. And you know what, guys? I want to thank you guys wholesomely for watching, and from the bottom of my heart, I hope you guys have a great week. And we'll see you in the next one. But remember, guys, keep France in your thoughts and prayers, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.